The Road and Transportation Master Plan for the West Bank and Gaza Strip is a strategic transport planning tool aimed to set a clear and ambitious vision for the future of transportation in the Palestinian present and future territories. Financed by the European Commission and managed by the European Investment Bank, the Master Plan is a short, medium and long-term visionary planning instrument for the Palestinian National Authority, the project direct beneficiary. The Master Plan addresses both West Bank and Gaza Strip, covering a total area of 6,020 square kilometers. The current population of around 4.8 million inhabitants is expected to increase significantly in the coming 35 years to around 13 million. Population is mainly concentrated in the major cities, most of which are aligned along a linear axis that represents the current national backbone. Mobility conditions suffer the consequence of political unrest, causing irregular travel conditions between places. This also provokes a continuous increase of internal and external movement restrictions on passengers and freight, causing an internal imbalance among regions. Movement conditions vary significantly between West Bank and Gaza Strip. While internal mobility in the West Bank is restricted in areas B and C, external connections to Jordan and Israel are viable through border crossings and crossing points. On the contrary, while internal mobility in the Gaza Strip is unrestricted, external connections are heavily restricted and controlled. No railways are currently present, and facilities for air and maritime transport are damaged and in disuse, needing full rehabilitation for meeting current and future mobility needs. The lack of alternative modes of transportation concentrates movement of people and goods on the road sector. The comprehensive nature of this master plan has no precedent ever since the constitution of the PNA in 1994, where it aims to incorporate equally the West Bank and Gaza Strip into a single and united framework. The master plan seeks to leverage the potentials of the transport sector in contributing to the economic growth of the country and to respond to the increasing travel demands. It tackles comprehensively spatial, infrastructural, operational, legal, regulatory and financial aspects. The multimodal master plan includes all transport modes, ranging from rail, road, air, maritime and public transport, addressing currently suffering transit and storage areas such as border crossings and logistics areas. Transportation demand considers multiple scenarios for demographic trends, consisting in varying rates in natural growth, the number of returning Palestinians and internal migration between the Gaza Strip and West Bank. The master plan is composed of a spatial master plan and an implementation program. The spatial plan aims at improving connectivity at a multiple scale: micro scale within the West Bank and Gaza Strip, meso scale between the two, and macro scale with the region. The implementation program consists instead of a detailed implementation strategy based on preset priorities and objectives to be completed in 4 horizon years, ending in 2045. The master plan has multiple objectives: improve all transport sector equally, achieve a multimodal network, improve external connectivity, reinforce internal connections, enhance mobility in rural areas, link the West Bank to the Gaza Strip, and reinforce logistics areas and freight movements. Rail and road transport are the major transport components of a broader network composed of several layers. The road transport plan aims to reinforce the north-south backbone in both the Gaza Strip and West Bank through the upgrade of existing roads and implementation of new ring roads around major cities. This will relieve urban centers from intercity movements. East-west connections are introduced in the later stages to improve connectivity between cities and rural areas, enhancing further connections to main border crossings, logistics areas, planned ports and airports. The railway system is developed starting from the domestic line linking Ramallah and Nablus. This develops further to connect northwards to Jenin and southwards to Hebron and the surrounding cities. The network is then extended through the implementation of an international link between the Gaza Strip and the West Bank, linking Rafah to Tel Al-Baida to neighboring countries. The network is completed in the last phase to include orbital connections in the northern part of the West Bank. Public transport is organized into a single control entity. The network is hinged on new 5 major hubs in main cities and other poles with high travel demand. BRT lines for urban movements and regional buses and intercity rail lines for long distances are provisioned. The fishery port in Gaza City will undergo major refurbishment, whereas 2 options for a new commercial port are proposed. The damaged airport in Rafah will undergo major refurbishment, whereas 2 options for a new international airport north of Jericho are envisaged. A total number of 12 border crossing points are proposed to improve conditions of currently operational points and rehabilitate damaged areas. Expansion projects are provisioned to enhance capacity, quality of service and efficiency. Finally, a comprehensive logistics plan is set, including the implementation of warehouses, agro-food collecting centres and, in later phases, freight villages and logistics parks. The master plan is the result of 18 months of work in close coordination with local authorities, involving international and Palestinian professionals from all domains. Work is based on extensive survey campaigns, including traffic counts at more than 50 locations, on- and off-board public transport passenger counts, travel time surveys, extensive road condition surveys, and inspection of ports, airports, and border crossing points. An unprecedented integrated multimodal traffic model is implemented based on updated GIS and on-site collected data. Construed as a planning and validation instrument, all project phases are implemented to ensure and quantify effectiveness of proposed interventions. Dedicated software training sessions are organized throughout the process, given the complex nature of the applied traffic model. This is expected to provide the technical staff with the appropriate know-how for developing and updating the master plan. The master plan, with its spatial and programming vision, will leave a legacy, draw the strategy and define the next steps for a prosperous and optimistic development of the Palestinian territory.